Everybody go in the chat and let me know, did you do your homework? I've been sitting here with VIP. Literally, you guys, one woman, Jessa, like literally went after $15,000 and she got it, right? Another one, Rebecca, literally said to herself, you know what? She went from literally standing in a place of going, I don't know how I'm going to do it. Whether it's leadership, whether it's buying a house, whether it's falling in love, whatever dreams and aspirations that you have, she was one of the people literally last week that was saying, oh, I want to do this thing. Who can relate? I want to do this thing, but I don't have whatever it takes. I don't have the money. I don't have the time. I don't have the supportive spouse. I live alone. By the way, there's no good guys that live in my city. And so that's why I'm single. Y'all hear the story, right? Y'all hear the story. It's like, let's blow up the story. Let's completely blow up the story. So Rebecca was in that conversation. She was locked into a story like that. And literally, she has put a for sale sign on her car. It looks like she's going to make about $10,000 on that after she pays off her car. She generated a $2,700 loan. You know, Eugene went and found something in his garage that he set an intention that he was going to sell for $700. He's now got bids at $545. I'm telling you, things can change when you change. So today I have a really great guest, and his name is Dean Graziosi. Light up the chat if you know Dean Graziosi. Go in the chat and just light it up, right? Do you know who he is? Yes or no? Do you know who he is? Yes or no? Go in the chat and let us know. So Dean is one of my favorite people. In fact, you want to talk about setting an intention. I had a zone event, which is my big 3-day event. And I had a zone event coming up, and I was, I wanted Dean there. I had a vision. And I literally did the event in Arizona to make it easy for Dean to say yes and grace us on the stage. And I know he's generous, I know he's giving, and yes, I've written a $100,000 check to coach with him. Excuse me, as I lose my voice here. So I have written a $100,000 check to work with him, amongst a lot of other people like Russell Brunson. And the problem is if you don't have that type of cash, what do you do? Well, I'm hoping that what I can do today is put you in the room with the right people. And that's our intention today, is to put you in the room with the right people. What you do with it is up to you. I want you to know, what is your intention for today? What is it that you want to create from today? What's the one thing that you need to know today that would change everything? And I'm telling you, you can squeeze the juice out of the conversation today. And I guarantee you, even if you say, I want to build an email list, I want to build a text message list, I want to, learn how to think, in a way that's successful. Who needs a different thinking pattern? Go in the chat and put a T. Put a T. Who needs a different thinking pattern, right? And so that's more important than anything. So everything he says today, pay attention to look at the lens in which he's seeing the world through. I mean, if you want to ask me, what do I study? Yes, I listen to the content and I take action on it. I take action messily. That's why it's like, you don't need to know every step, because you just do it and you'll figure out the steps that didn't work. But I pay attention to, how does Dean think? How does he see the world? Because it's through patterns and him spotting patterns that tell you where's the opening to skyrocket to success. So let's take a moment. Let's bring Dean Graziosi up to the stage. Dean. Hi.
What's up, Shanda? What's up, everybody? Good to see you guys.
So good to see you. Are you in Arizona right now?
I am. It's a little warm, but perfect here in the studio. I get to see so many faces. I get to see all the chat. So thank you for all the kind words. Good to see you, Tara Green. Good morning. How are you? Melinda, Elizabeth. What's going on, Angie? What's up, Eugene Wood? How are you, man? I saw your story. Jasmine. Good to see Alyssa, Elise. I get to see all these cool faces, and I get to see you, Shanda. Great work here. Love your energy. Love all this amazing group. What a perfect time in history to be bringing people capabilities. I don't think there could be a better time. It's a pleasure to be here. So how do we serve today?
Okay, so first and foremost, before I unleash you, I want to ask you a couple questions that people aren't used to asking you, because you're training and you're coaching and you're up there transforming the world. And a lot of times people don't get to get in your head. Do you know what I mean? And so looking at what's happening in the world right now, right? What do you feel like people need to be bullish on to make sure they're protecting their family, they're protecting their future? Like, what would you focus on if you were either just starting or you already have a business or a family and you're looking at, like, what should I be focusing on for the next couple of years to really take care of myself?
Gotcha. Great question. So I'm always going to give you the answer that I would give my family. It'd be easy to say you should be in this business doing this right now because this is how you get rich, right? But I've been in this long enough to know that how many opportunities, if you're really honest, who in here has had an opportunity before in the past that you were really excited about, you felt it, you were all in, and then you turned around a year later and you weren't doing anything with it? Raise your hand if that's true. Right? You've had a story, you've had a worry, you had someone in your ear telling you it's just a dumb idea, then self-doubt came in, confidence went down a little, and then they call it what? What's the new word today when you don't take action? There's always been a word. I've been in business for 32 years. What's the word in today's world when you don't take action because of imposter syndrome, majority? You hit the nail on the head, right? There's always a word. Really, it's just you're afraid, and it's okay. We all have fear. So if I was going to say, it's a really great question. Let's just face it and say it like it is. Let's not make it worse than it is, but now let's not make it better than it is. I got that from Tony Robbins 25 years ago. We are in an economic winter. It's here. It's not coming. It's here. A lot of the world doesn't realize it's here. If you're under 35, 33 years old, you don't even understand you might not understand unless you study history what that means. For those of you a little older, you know what it can mean. You might remember if you live in America, in 2008 when you drove down the street and every third house was for sale and every fourth house had a foreclosure sign on it and your friends and people you knew went through bankruptcy and all those things. It's here. So you're like, wow, I'm glad Shanda brought Dean to bring me all this good news, right? But here's what I want to tell you. There's two things you can do when you know something's coming. And I want you to write this down. Do me a favor and write this down. You can anticipate and prepare, or you can react and be left behind. Most people go, it's coming, but I'm just going to avoid it. I know it's different, but it's okay. And then what happens when you're in the thick of it? It's so crazy you don't know where to go. So my words for you, my thoughts for you today are, what can you do today to mentally prepare to be the man or woman God designed you to be? We all have leaders inside of us. We all have a next level inside of us. I love Dale Carnegie's quote. It stuck with me. I read his book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, and how to stop problems. I forget the name of that second. But the best quote I got from Dale Carnegie was, the biggest plight of the human race is knowing you have more potential but not utilizing it. So let's just get serious here. Let's just go back 2.5 years. Okay? No matter where you were 2.5 years ago, things shifted, right? We had this thing called COVID. There was uncertainty, and a lot of us came home. A lot of us realized, I am not dealing with that job. I'm home now. I'm never going back to a job like that. They call it the Great Resignation. 82% of people just in America hate their job because they got to figure out that they were trading life and family and love and health for this thing that they didn't like anyway. There was all this uncertainty and shifting, and so that got us in a different place. And then we kind of got used to that uncertainty, started gaining a little more certainty, world started opening up, and now all of a sudden, inflation, gas prices, food prices, wars, separation. We're more divided than ever before. I read history obsessively. It's like I believe most of us live in the middle. And the media and people are pushing us to be extreme on one side. It's like, I think they're both crazy on both sides. It's like everybody I know is kind of in here, right? You know what I'm saying? I see so many smiles. My only point is all of this stuff is happening, and then interest rates up, stock market down, crypto crashing, and all of a sudden the uncertainty goes to an extreme high. So when you think of uncertainty, and if it goes high, what happens when you're not confident? Think about it. What happens when you're not confident? Have any of you ever closed the deal, said yes, moved forward, taking the uncomfortable action you need when your confidence is down? Right? You lose control, you withdraw, you shut down. So great. Barbara, Jamie, avoidance. Yes, it's like, it's that thing, and instead of like, even if you're not afraid of it, you just kind of put it off and you want to wait to see where things go. Let me just be really clear with you. If I'm going to give you the conversation that I would give my daughter today, literally, when I share, and especially Shanda's a dear friend, no one's coming to save you. No one has. No one ever will. I would bet to say, no matter how many people are on here, if you live in America, one of you hate our last president and one of you hate the current president. I don't care which one it is. It's just a fact. Am I true? Roxanne, I saw you smile. Am I telling the truth? You guys hate one or the other. Did either one of them save you? Do you think the next one is going to save you? Do you think they're going to pay off your bills or make things easier? No, they're just screwing things up even more. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. If you know no one's coming to save you, here's the greatest gift of that. It's the most liberating thing in the world, because you moving forward, you unleashing that hero, that leader that lives inside of you, is all on you. And once you take that ownership, things just change. Because here's what I know. When you start feeling, you're part of an event like this, and you hear Shanda and you hear other speakers, and you get the opportunity to move forward and learn capabilities and go for it. Man, we all have that voice that's like, can I really do this? My friends are going to think I'm nuts. Man, I've tried before and I failed. Man, I'm kind of a procrastinator. I'm a little too old for this. I'm a little too young. What could I do online? All this crap starts, and all that does is push down your confidence, and imposter syndrome goes, I'm winning, right? But let me just ask you something. Jasmine, I see you shaking your head. I asked you before if you guys had an opportunity, it kind of faded away. I'm going to digress, and I'm a little squirrel here this morning, but I want to that was a great question. I don't want to just say, take action, be fearless, grab a business, go get rich. Like, how many times have you tried that and it's not working? We have to go upstream and find that reason, that hesitation, that thing that's not allowing you to be the greatest woman you were meant to be, or the greatest man you were meant to be, or be the leader you're supposed to be. There's something holding it back. You know this stuff. You've heard it. I'm not kind of trying to give you a whole personal development training here in 20 minutes, but here's what I want you to think about. Uncertainty has been high for 2.5 years. Now we're going through a recession. You have two options. You can be bold, courageous, learn new capabilities, fight uncertainty, move forward, or you could sit on your hands and see how things go. And I just want to share, I want to finish one piece here. Okay. I want you to think about something. So many of us are afraid to move forward. True? So many of us have stories in our head that have already cost us too much. True? But let me ask you, if you're afraid of taking bold, courageous, uncomfortable action, if you're afraid to step into the woman that you were designed to be, if you're afraid people will judge you, your husband, your spouse will think you're weird, your significant other, let me just ask you, what's scarier? Is it scarier moving forward, kind of jumping out of the plane, growing wings on the way down? Or would it be scarier to be 100 years old, and at the end of your life, you get to meet your maker? And I always think, what if you got to meet your maker and he had an iPhone, or she had an iPhone, because of course he or she would. And what if your maker played you a video of the woman you could have been? Think about that one. I think about crazy shit like that, excuse my language, all the time, because I want leverage to move forward in the moment. Because if we don't move forward today, that's the only ending we'll have. So I might be afraid to take action, afraid to enroll, afraid to engage and be a part of something else, but I am so much more afraid to being at the end of my life and realize I played small. I didn't tap into the leader I was meant to be. I didn't tap into the human I was designed to be. And we left something on the table. I don't want to leave anything on the table. I want to meet my maker and they go, damn, you're crazy. Holy crap, you are just nuts. I was going to play you I don't even know how to play a video of you because you went way beyond my expectations. That's what I want, and I think of that crazy stuff all the time. So whatever it takes to get you to move, we must utilize it. We must find a way to be disturbed within action rather than feeling comfortable in this moment. You're not comfortable. If everything was solid and the way you wanted it to be, you wouldn't be here today. You'd be enjoying that life. And I'll give you 2 more bits of ingredients. It's a long answer for one short question. 1, confidence. Write this down. Put it in the chat. Put it in your journal. Protect your confidence. Please do me that favor. Protect your confidence. We don't do anything when we're uncertain. We don't do anything when we're scared. So what does protect your confidence mean? It's really simple. Don't overthink it. You could do a big, long personal development course. Angie, I see you laughing. Ready for how simple this is going to be? You're going to be like, wow, I see why Shanda brought Dean. He's so brilliant, right? There are things that you currently do today that take your confidence away. Ready for the brilliance? Do less of it. See how smart I am? Do less of it. Who in here, I see you, Stephanie, laughing, Susan. Who in here watches the news and you get done, you go, damn, I feel amazing. Woo, let's go kill the day. You watch the news, you're like, holy crap, I'm just gonna sit here and drink a bottle of wine because life's going to hell in a handbasket. If watching the news robs your confidence, ready for the secret? Do less of it. If talking to your friend Angie, that every time you talk to her, she tells you you're crazy, you're a dreamer, my husband sucks, my friends suck, you suck, the world sucks, and every time you're done talking to your friend, or she calls you and you look at your phone and you go, oh, I don't know if I should answer this. Don't answer it. Don't go have coffee with her. Get her out of your life. Or don't listen to a word she says, because that robs your confidence. If you're geeking out online and you geek out on Fox News or you geek out on CNN, don't care. Do either one of them make you feel better? How about when you focus on your weaknesses? That's a good one. Man, I could do this, but I'm not that good at this one thing. How does that make you feel? Robs your confidence. Stop doing it. You want more confidence? Don't do the crap that takes away your confidence. See how brilliant I am? And if you want more confidence, what do? We do the crap that makes us feel better about ourselves. Read that book, listen to that audio, follow the podcast, get enrolled with Shanda so you could keep working and unleash that next level leader. Do the crap that builds your confidence so you could boldly move forward to be the man or woman you're designed to be. I'm not trying to oversimplify it, but we overcomplicate it. Will, you know what I'm talking about? Tell me we don't overcomplicate this. We start thinking, I gotta do this, and my past, and I've done this before. No, everything. And I got this from my dear friend Tony Robbins 22 years ago. What if all the crap and shit, for lack of a better word, that has happened in your life was actually designed for you? What if it made you the woman you are today, the strength? I have goosebumps because we all have our crap. My parents were married 9 times by the time I was 20. I moved 20 times. My dad gave me a bleeding ulcer by the time I was 13 because I was so scared of him. All that crap, when I was a kid, I'm like, why the hell me? Now I'm like, thank God, because that gave me this ability, this strength. I can read people, I feel people, I have empathy for my dad rather than anger for my dad. I'm a different human because of the crap I went through. It is my rocket fuel, not my anchor. So how can you shift that today to build confidence, do more things that drive you forward, less that drive you backwards? Once you have the confidence, then you have the courage to take that uncomfortable action. And here's the formula. If you have the confidence, if you have the wherewithal to move forward, to take that uncomfortable action, to not let inner self-doubt or your friends stop you, then the next thing I'll suggest, only because this has been my life and this is what I teach people, and this is, Tony Robbins changed my life 25 years ago. Now we're partners and we get to change millions of people's lives around the world, is learn from someone who's already been there. Learn from someone who's already been there. You're already doing that by being here today. Those of you who are taking action to continue to work with Shanda, you're already doing that today, right? Because so many times, it's like, all right, I'm excited. I want to move forward, right? And then you look at your blueprint and it looks like this paper. It's like, but where do I start? It's like, imagine if the housing business wasn't on it's most likely going to go down. But let's just say the last 7 years, building houses is really profitable, right? And I grabbed you, Clara, and I said, Clara, you and I are going to be partners. I'm going to put up the money. You go build houses. And I handed you this paper and this pen, and I said, go ahead and design the first one. You'd be like, oh, I'm excited. All right. Flat roof, peak roof, how big, how small? Do I go like a centimeter to a foot, or is it like I can't do this, I don't know where to start. But what if I said, Clara, let's be partners in a housing company, but I've been building houses for 37 years. This is my best blueprint. This is the house that sells the most. We make the most. Take this and just make it yours. You'd have a lot more confidence in going in the housing business. So many of us are trying to go to our next level and we're working with a blank slate and we're staring at it going, I want it, but what the hell do I do? Learn from someone who's already been there. Gain the confidence. Don't let the old story go. Surround yourself with the things that bring confidence up. Avoid the things that bring confidence down. Latch on to someone who speaks to you. If it's Shanda, latch on. If it's someone else, latch on. But take the action with someone who's already getting the results you want, who's already been there, who's willing to share it, and then burn the boats. Go all in. Stop dabbling. Stop. How many times in life have you dabbled in a relationship? Not fully committed in a relationship. How'd they work out? You don't know that person anymore, or it's not a great relationship. You got to go all in. There's no magic money machines. There's no getting rich overnight, no getting successful overnight. Can't go to the gym once and be in great shape. Can't avoid the ice cream once and lose 20 pounds. Can't come to one event for 3 hours and be wealthy, happy, abundance, and full of joy. You got to do the work. But is it worth it? Hell yes. That's my stump speech. You said you had a second question, but I took like 20 minutes to answer the first one.
No, that's okay.
You guys feeling it? If you're feeling it, let me know in the chat.
So, Dean, as I'm sitting there, I can't help but think, I hear everything that you're saying, and people are afraid to go all in. Do you know what I mean? Because they have failed in the past. I know you've just spent the last few minutes talking about that, but when it's like you're caught in that moment of trauma, you know what I mean? And it's like, how would you tell your son to walk through that moment with the bully on the playground? Do you know what I mean? Because I feel like this world has kind of watered everything down now, and I feel like we're in like a COVID coma, and everybody's waking up out of a coma, and it's like everything's gone up and changed. Things have moved, and there's this delay, and I'm seeing it in our clients. We coach a lot of entrepreneurs. I'm seeing it in their launches. I'm seeing it, in their sales teams. I'm seeing it all over the place where people are taking longer to process. And I just don't feel like there's a long runway to process. We're hitting some good times. I know it's tough, guys, but tough times mean there's really good times. Like when Dean and everybody, we all jumped online when COVID hit, we crushed it for the last 2 years and we bankrolled. And now we're going to go into what we're going to go into for the next couple of years. And there's going to be another opportunity to crush it if you can pivot in those moments. And so when you're stuck in the moment and you're like, okay, I'm hearing Dean, I want to go all in. I get the blueprint thing, but, right? It's like, what runway can you paint for them right now? Because there's a runway. What runway can you paint for them right now that creates urgency?
Yeah, so here's what I'd say. Anybody see, not that you watch Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger, but did anybody see Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett like 3 weeks ago do their yearly speech? No, I guess I'm one of the oddballs. So if you're here in America, you know who they are, one of the richest people in the world, best investors, best business people. They're in their 90s. It's so cool to watch these old guys think of just being on this earth that long and having that much success. And they said during hyperinflation, during a recession, no matter if money turns into seashells, right? Or Reichmarks, or it gets devalued, how do you still get your piece of it, right? They said the best way to get through a recession, through inflation, were two things. One, invest in yourself. Literally, Google it. He said, invest in yourself. Get better at what you're good at. There's no better investment than yourself. That was his answer. Well, if you guys know, number two was be a part of a business that has higher margins. Don't get stuck in a business that has high inventory price, because the inventory can go through the roof. Shipping, right? Supply chains, all those issues, right? That's why I love the self-education industry, kind of selling what you know, right? But think of those two things, right? So that's kind of like the logical side of your brain. It's time to invest in myself and go deeper, because we're going into winter, right? Tony Robbins and Jim Rohn called it winter, like an economic winter. And they also said, in winter, we can starve and freeze, or we could snowboard and ski. And that goes back to that anticipation, preparation compared to reaction, right? So what I'd say on the logical side of your brain is invest in yourself. No matter what, listen, I've known Shanda for a lot of years. I've been to her events where there's 3,000 women in the room losing their mind over what she's delivered. I know how much she cares. I know how the results she's gotten for people. So I have no problem endorsing you guys continuing your education with her. If I didn't feel that way, I wouldn't be here. Believe me, I'm not bragging. I have a list of 100 people a month that ask me to speak, and I get a ridiculous amount of money to speak. I just got offered $150,000 yesterday for a 60-minute online speech, right? Thank God, who knew that as a broke kid that I'd have that opportunity, and I can't do it, right? I'm here because I have a relationship with Shanda, and I know how much she cares. I'm getting nothing for being here today. I'm here because I want to serve. That's the one thing I want to share. But we must first address our logical brain and say, how do I get through winter? How can I snowboard and ski? I'm telling you, invest in yourself. Get better at what you're good at. Get your mindset. Evoke that inner leader, that inner hero that lives inside of you. Again, if it's Shanda, go for it. Stop thinking. If it's not Shanda, then find someone you're completely aligned with and go. But you're here, you're still with her. I'm guessing Shanda's your girl, right? Number two is we must get on the emotional side. And I would reflect today, what if you do nothing? Right? What if you do nothing? That's just a great question to ask yourself. I'm going to share something that I just said for the first time in my life on what gets me to take action. If you don't think the shift in the economy affects everyone, it does. I want to shift my strategy. I want to serve people greater. I get uncertain. I get scared. That never goes away. It doesn't matter how much success you have. But someone asked me just yesterday, it was 2 days ago, Tom Bilyeu, he does impact theory. And I was on an interview with Tom, and he asked me a great question. He said, when you don't take action, or you want to take action, but you're scared, what gets you there? And I told him an answer. I'm going to take just 1 minute here, 1.5 minutes, and tell you. I told him an answer I had never told anybody else. You see, what everybody tells you is focus on a bigger future. Of course you should. A compelling future. One with freedom, joy, abundance, happiness. But I'm going to be really honest with you guys. I focus on that about 80% of the time when things are kind of hard. I'm going to tell you a secret that I just told Tom. You'll see it if you watch that interview. I've never shared it before because he knows how to climb into my soul. He's a good dude. But I was really honest with him. If I'm going to be honest with you, when things get tough, I go to the dark side. That's what he called it after I shared it with him. And what does that mean? I kind of still beat myself up a little bit. I hated being broke as a kid. I hated my mom watch my mom work 3 jobs to have nothing. I hated wearing hand-me-downs. I hated the kids made fun of me. I'm still that broke kid on the inside of me. I support my mom. I support my dad. I bought them both houses. I buy them cars. I feel blessed that I retired both of them. When I really want to move, and some people, if you're a therapist, you're going to tell me I'm unhealthy. I'm sure. It's okay. I know that already. I'm a little hosed up. I go to a place of like, if I don't take this action, I'm going to lose everything. I'm not going to have the freedom I want to be with my kids or be the husband I want to be to my wife or coach Little League and coach softball and take my kids to practice and take them to school and take them home. And I go to a place of like, I'm going to lose all that shit. I'm just being honest. I don't know how to stop it. It's the way I'm programmed. I don't live there. But when I really need to move, I go to the dark side of thinking all the shit that will go wrong if I don't take uncomfortable action. That's just true, and the rocket gets lifted up again because I am not going back to being broke. I am not going backwards. I'm not going to make it so I can't be with my kids, and I'm not going to make it so anybody else controls my time, who I am, or my decisions. When I get in that dark place, watch out, because I don't care if you got tanks, a brick wall, I'm getting through. So whatever it takes to move forward, that's the answer for you.
I do exactly the same thing. That's exactly what I do. And so does Jesse Itzler. If you guys know Jesse Itzler, he's married to Sarah Blakely with Spanx. And I've done a couple programs with Jesse where we've partnered on programs when he was figuring out what he wanted to do when he grew up. I'm like, just be you, because everybody wants to be you. You have such a great life. But my point is like he goes to the dark side too. And a lot of times we've been taught in the world of spirituality, which is, I get that is trying to do a great job for everybody, but we've watered down this thing like we shouldn't go there. That's unhealthy. That's not good. But you guys, you know it's unhealthy? Not being able to contribute in a bigger way. That's what's unhealthy. So,
all right, so one more thing I want to do, Shanda, because I know my time is up, and it was so amazing spending time with you all. I hope at least one thing I said today gets you guys to take that uncomfortable action we need. I appreciate you. Good to see you, Kristen, Lily, and Jordan, and Tara, and Barbara, and Karen. I'm going to do one thing for you guys, because I know sometimes you need that last little nudge, you need that last little push to get you over the hump. So those of you that already are enrolled and you're going to continue to work with Shanda, congratulations. I'm going to do something for you guys. I have a course called my Accelerated Success Formula. I was going to give you one part of the training, but kind of loving all your smiles and your comments. I'm not exaggerating. It's an amazing course. I did it last year. It's a $495 course. It's not $4,000, it's not $4 million, but I believe it's the greatest personal development success course I've ever created. It's a complete course. It's not an interview I did. It's the course that we sell every year, and we sell it in January and do amazing launch, and it's incredible. It's called the Accelerated Success Formula. So if you are working with Shanda, I'm going to get with the team as soon as I get off, and I'll make sure you guys get a copy of that course. If you liked what I shared today, it's 6 modules of this. It's my whole life on how I move forward, how I take uncomfortable action. So if you're in, great. And if you guys are on the fence thinking about it, maybe that's the thing that pushes you over, because if you get enrolled before, I think it's ending tonight at midnight, I'll make sure you guys get that course.
So
cool,
good.
Shanda? Cool, everybody?
Thanks, you guys. So you guys, just so if you're brand new and watching and you didn't jump on yesterday, let me share something with you. What he's throwing this bonus in with is our Hardcore Leadership Program. So if you imagine this, 4 months, Dean, you'll be shocked about this. 4 months. For 4 months, we take them through 2 intensives, vision, which is 3 days, which imagine you're in like an egg and you crack the egg and you see like light. You're like, oh my God, I can hang out with different people. My relationship can look totally different. I can have a child at 50 years old and break the norm and still have a great life. Like, it takes you out of the box of normal and puts you into this place of, I'm going to control my vision. The world's not going to control my vision. Then you go into breakthrough, which is 4 days. And when you go through breakthrough, it's all virtual. We have people in Germany do this. We have people in the UK do this, in Canada, in America. So you go through vision, then you go through breakthrough. You can't break through without vision, right? Like, you can't, you got to know where you're going. You can't break through without vision. So you go vision, then you go breakthrough. When you're done breakthrough, here's the thing. Here's the problem with personal development. You go back to the old version. Anybody feel me? Yes or no? That's the risk. You go back to the old version of yourself and you just put in all this effort and you go back. So we say, test us. For 3 months, an army of people get behind you. So you want to make money? In those 3 months, you make money. You want to change a relationship? I've seen people get married that didn't even have a date. And that's happened many times. We've seen people divorced get remarried. But I've seen, and this is not an income claim, and I'm not saying you could even do this, but we have a 95% success rate currently of people who graduate. That doesn't mean that everybody doesn't finish, but we don't call you a graduate unless the goal you put up gets hit. So you can finish the program, but if you don't 100% hit that goal, we don't count you as a 95% graduate. You finished the program. I did that because I don't want you to be a finisher. I want you to be a graduate. So after you do vision and breakthrough, you literally do 90 days where you go after something and you test the program. So my question to you is, do you want that for yourself? Do you want to see yourself hit the mark? I'll tell you that my husband and I would not be married if we hadn't done this training. 100% would not be married. Somebody else owned this training before. I did the training. I met my husband and I was out. He did the training. I went and did the training a second time with him. And we not only got married, but we are each other's best teammate. There is nothing that I can't do with that man. And that is a lost art in this world. Now, something we threw in yesterday with VIP that we didn't announce to everybody. And that is that you can now take the program twice. So you need a little safety. You've done things in the past, you haven't succeeded. If the 95% is not good enough for you, you have a year and a half to go audit the training again. So you can literally do the program twice. If you go to joinhclnow.com, go to joinhclnow.com, and you can do the program twice. Now, here's the thing. We are raising the price. We got to raise the price. I mean, literally, I'll be really honest with you. We had a vision, and we take our year-long goals of how many people we want to transform their lives, and we cut the vision in half, which means that we hit our year-long goals in 6 months. The reason why I was willing to even discount it the way that I did is because I'm hitting my year-long goal of transformation right now. Take advantage of it. So here's something that my team messaged me this morning. They said, Shanda, I feel like there's a few people who need a little bit more help. And they convinced me, I'm not kidding you, on a voice note this morning and said, would you open up a 6-pay? And I was like, what? And not only did they ask me to do this, listen to me here. So you can now do the program on a 6-pay for $500. You can't do the program. There's 2 stipulations. You got to do 2 payments before you get in the program. But here's the thing. Once you do the program, I will take care of your last payment. Just become a graduate. finish the program. So not only is now there a 6 pay on that page, but I will pay the last payment if you get yourself through that program. This is a security blanket for your future. So here's the deal. I'm not going to convince you. You already know if this is the right decision for you. But if you're sitting on the fence and you've been watching this go by, I'm telling you, it doesn't get any better than this. So go to joinhclnow.com. I'll see you on the other side. The price is going up. We'll send some emails out like we always do, but you already know. Trust your gut. I'll talk to you guys soon. I'll see you tomorrow morning. VIP, Dean and I are going to sit with you for a couple minutes. So bye, you guys. We'll talk to you soon.